What's up, traders? I'm Mark Bauman. We're talking about money today. This is StartTrading.com. I'm going to catch you up on this morning's crazy events. We were down $24,000 by about 9 a.m. PST, 12 p.m. EST in our accounts. Now, let me rearrange my screens here so you can see where we are now. We were down 24,000 and we are still down, up, otherwise. Okay. Logging into my TD Ameritrade account. If you haven't already, while you're waiting for me, please like, share, subscribe, make yourself some money. StartTrading.com. We give you free courses. Just sign up today. It's completely free. We also point you in the right direction to where if you want to trade Forex markets but don't want to do the day-to-day, let somebody else do it for you. It's called CopyTrading. Go check it out. VJC. Oh, I tried to buy that and apparently it did not come through. Same with CCIV. VJC is still down. Okay. Couple important points which you probably saw in the description. IMAX shares shot up 13%. We'll jump over there. VGAC, their chairman sold off millions of shares, tanked the stock, which is not true because it was already tanking. So I don't know exactly what he did, but essentially it dropped it to 2-3%. Not a big deal compared to the negative 20%, negative 10% it sustained over the last 5 days, and negative, wow, look at this drop. Okay, so basically it's big news, but not that big of news given the current climate and the drops that are happening. So let's see, bring my pretty face in more. There you go, and shrink. I want to see less of me and more of the stats. So VJC is at their bottom, which is great if you wanted to get into VJC. I don't know if Sir Richard Branson is out, but that would be a reason not to get into VJC. But we see an opportunity because look at that. There's only 1% drop from all their shares being sold. That's a bit crazy, no? So we are going to get in because it's back at the bottom, and we missed the initial VJC. And if they do a special acquisition purchase and Sir Richard Branson is involved, I think that things are going to skyrocket back up. I know SPACs are dead, but as you can see, we're still getting back into them. CCIV Plus is my favorite because it's the cheapest and it follows CCIV, and this is almost near bottom as well. So you can see the market's really bottom out with the SPACs, which could be a great indicator that the entire market may have bottomed out. So I'm going to buy 100 shares of CCIV Plus. Now, that's not what I'm here to talk about, though. We got VGAC, we got CCIV Plus now. Look at this. Market sell-off galore. All my, let's see the sell action today. And, oh, I'm sorry, I've got to go to, no, this is all status, okay. Look at these sells. Sold Upwork, 56 for those. We sold Starbucks. No, trailing stop, it hasn't sold yet, so that didn't trigger. NCLH triggered, GNOG triggered, Fiverr triggered again, Etsy triggered, CCL triggered, Baba triggered, ARC triggered. Oh wait, Starbucks did trigger 50 shares on our, what was that trailing stop? Is that 3%? It's not sharing the trailing stop, a 3% trailing stop, so I'm going to have to buy back into that, hopefully above 102.89. CSWC, it already went back up a bit. So Starbucks did trigger, and I was not aware until just now, so glad I looked at. The other ones I was aware they triggered, and we bought back in after it dropped. It triggered at 3%, and this is what I told everybody yesterday, if you were paying attention. Trailing stop losses set at negative 3%. If it drops below 3%, you get alert, because it just sold all your stock. And based on how the patterns have been happening in the market, if it's going to drop 3% on most stocks, some stocks set 5 or 6%. So CCIV, for example, 5% is what we set there because that has higher fluctuations. But if it drops more than 5%, I know it's going to go to 6, 10, and in this case, this morning, 23% negative. So we bought more CCIV plus, which was negative 23%. We bought more CCIV, which is negative 15%. They're at their bottom. I just bought more CCIV plus because it's still negative. The SPACs are dead, but they still will recover at some point, I believe. Again, not a financial advisor. Consult one if you like. Do your own research. Starbucks was down 1.5%, was down 3%. So I missed the boat on that one and sold out of my shares, unfortunately. But I only lost 3%. Doesn't mean we can't get back in right now, which is what I'm doing, because I believe it's going to continue to rise back up the rest of the day. I was expecting this, that we would have a drop of, we'd either climb and not drop more than 1% or so in most of the stocks, or we'd have a drastic sell-off, which we did, and then a recovery because it's Friday. TGI Friday. So thank God it's Friday. We dropped out of Upwork for 50 shares, then bought back into Upwork. We dropped out of Upwork at negative 3% for 50 shares. Then we bought back into Upwork at negative 6% for 100 shares. Because, look at this now, we are now up 7.3% with Upwork. Should have done more. So sorry, it's so late. Qualcomm, same thing, we dropped 3% there. We bought even more share. Actually, we just replaced those shares that we sold off at a lower rate. So we are now up 1.33%. We're only down 7.4% across the board, which kind of scares me because next week we're probably going to have more sell-off, which means I'm going to have to do this same thing again. And I'm trying to run my normal businesses while doing these trades. So it's kind of fun, frustrating, and annoying all at the same time. Yesterday you're probably feeling angry, regretful, depression, angst, and you might have sold some shares. I like to do it on triggers because that gives me indicators on what to do next. But again, you have to pay attention if you're going to do that. But it's always good to set trailing stop losses just to protect your money. So Square, same thing. We sold off. Let's see if I can't do two windows. GD Ameritrade is a kind of runs off a specific type of code, which probably runs inline CSS, which means you can't jump from page to page. You got to load it within the page. So I'm just going to open up another window here so we can look at our sell-offs, and I'm going to make sure that I did buy back in, because the only way I'm going to lose money is if I sell off and sit it out and miss the recovery. If I sell it off and buy back in and ride the recovery back up, I won't lose the money because I'm actually, well, you can, but if you're selling at negative 3% and then drops to negative 10%, you buy back in and it comes back up, you just made 4% on top of that. Because even if it comes back up to negative 3%, if it comes back higher, you made 7% more than you would have that day had it even gone up. So, or it stayed the same, sorry. So those triggers, negative 3%, buy back in at negative 10, those are set based on time. So by 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 7 a.m., around that time, which is 10 a.m. EST, there are swings in the market that trigger at those times. I don't know if it's from the programmatic buying and they just set those times or what, but that's what happens. And then by 9 a.m., it's either hit bottom or it's gone up. So if it's hit bottom, if I sold at 7 or 7:30, say it went negative 3%, and it hits bottom at negative 7 or 10%, I buy back in, I ride that back up. Now you could set another trigger right now before 11 a.m. PST or 2 p.m. PST. This is great, EST. This is great information, by the way, because it's how I was able to recover the negative 30,000 the other day, ride it back up to 30,000 positive. I think if you've seen some of those posts. But I'm still going to set some triggers to sell off because Monday and next week will likely be the same. So if Monday has the same pattern as this past Monday, then the rest of the week I'm going to stay out until Thursday bottoms, or until I see another bottom. I'm going to buy back in slowly because, again, not every week is the same. You just got to track the patterns and make your decisions. But if I see the same patterns happening, I will know when to buy in. So I will buy in after it bottoms each day, and only a little bit until I see it really bottom. If I feel it's fully bottomed, like I feel like all the SPACs have fully bottomed today, but who knows? At least VGAC has, not all of them. GNOG and some of the other ones have not. But if I see that they've fully bottomed, then I will ride that sucker back up. Now Piton, which was one of our shorts, covered the news. VGAC. Oh, and let's get over to IMAX, which will impact directly AMC. So IMAX shot up 20%. Now it's at 14% positive. Do not buy into the IMAX right now. Or I am not going to. You make your own decisions, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to wait till it comes back down, because it will. And IMAX is another great recovery stock because look at this change here. See this? The recovery, it's only was it 40, 60% recovered. Yeah, so there's, let's go to the charts here. Why are all my charts and percentages all of a sudden? Okay, so if we go back to 5-year, it has about a recovery of 20%, probably about 20%. AMC, I'm still bullish on AMC because AMC has a recovery, and I have 3,000 shares that are going to trigger on exercising of options today. AMC on the 1 year is there. On the 3 year, let's look at that. Look at this charts of the 3 year. Okay. So let's jump over to actual dollars. Look at this. A $20 return is not unrealistic for AMC. A $20, I think, cap out at $20, $25. They'll probably ride at 25 for a little bit. It might hit 30, but it'll probably ride at 25 for a little bit and then trail back down. So after the full recovery, after everything, all the AMCs are back open, I see like a $20 to $25 range as a top. And then once it's been running steady and some of the numbers come out, you'll see it probably trickle back down. Because it really, people aren't going to the theaters as much as they used to as home entertainment gets better. Netflix, Amazon, Disney, etc. Peloton, it's back up 1.98%. Okay, so Peloton, I think, is going to continue to go down. So Peloton, I'm waiting till it peaks, and I'm selling short. I had a short sell, and I would have made an extra $5,000, but I got a little squeamish because I thought the market was going to rebound on Monday and Tuesday this week. It didn't, so I'm selling short again on Peloton for Monday. And Monday it might rise again, and then I'll sell it short again. Let's look at the 5 days here. This is the only one I'm bullish on selling short. Usually I don't do shorts. And I would definitely sell short probably any of the SPACs if any of them recover today. That might be a good thing to sell short on Monday, because Monday will be the determinant for the rest of the week. But this is definitely a good spot because I think Peloton is going to have this uptick, and I bet you'll fall back down by the end of the day. So let's do 30, as I'm not sure. It could, let's sell short 30. Yeah, sure. I'll just sell at 180. Might as well not lose right out the gate. So I'm going to sell Peloton short right. All right, so for those of you that are watching on Instagram, please come check out our YouTube. I'm going to pause this. And if you haven't already, please like or subscribe, share with your friends. Come to starttrading.com. We are live on YouTube. Okay, YouTubers, traders, here's what we're doing. Selling short Peloton because Peloton is going to ride the same wave it did last week, and I'll show you where and why. And I just memorize these things now because you got to be able to action quickly within the market. So the things I'm doing right now is Peloton. I'm not going to buy anything else because at the moment everything's recovering, which means I've missed that opportunity for today because there's going to be another dip most likely here shortly. Oh, Peloton just went up a little bit more. So we're going to see still a rise. I wonder if, maybe I'll cancel this one. No, it's peak. Well, let's check it out. So let's go with what I was saying with the 5-day, 10-day. Let's zoom in. Let's see. Let's zoom in on what was our last major dip. Okay, here we go. So March 4th. Okay, so you can see went back and hit its opening price. Now let's go back further, reset the zoom. Let's go here. No, not March 3rd. What was last Friday? Let's do 7 days ago. Here we go. Okay, so you're going to see this. This is what I'm looking for today. Notch up, dip, notch up, boom. By the end of the day, it's going to go back down. So let me see. Let's cancel this one. Oh, already filled it. That's all right. All right, so I think it's going to go back down anyway. So let's go back into the Peloton stats one more time. And we'll go to the 1 day. Let's do 1 hour, actually. 1 hour, it's back up here. 1 day. Oh, we have already gone past the opening price. Oh, that's right, we're up 2%. Great. Okay, so Peloton is at its high. 106.9. It will probably go up to 110. That's where I expect it to go today. So I will sell short more. Draw some trend lines. Let's do a 5-day actually. It's already passed. What price is this? Alright, so we'll see a high of 109. So if it goes on 109, actually it's going to sell a high at 110. So I'm going to sell even harder at 110. So I'm going to set 100 share sell at 110. If it ever reaches that, I'm buying that sucker. Hopefully it pops up to that sometime today and then comes back down. If it doesn't come back down, though, I made a bad bet, and that means we'll probably have a good Monday, because Peloton is definitely an indicator for the market right now as far as stocks that are on the decline. Stocks that are not on the decline and are just simmering, simma, would be Starbucks. So that's my tracker there for Starbucks. We also have Upwork is great on a mid-level, high value but high tech stock. So Upwork is considered a tech stock, but Upwork is really a hiring management platform that allows you to not have the liability of having employees, which if you're a business owner, you know how much liability exists working with employees. Some good, some bad. It's just there's a lot of liability to it. And you could hire contractors very easily, very quickly, and not have to worry about insurance. If you got them the right soda or right coffee or whatever the intricacies of that person may be, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff because you're just hiring a contractor. And I believe that Upwork by Monday will go above 45 and up to 50 and ride that sucker back up. And hopefully even higher. We will see, but that will be the market recovering if it does that. I believe, again, we got at least another week of this. Hopefully by mid next week, everything will be back to normal. But we don't know that for sure. So we can hope and pray and set our trailing stop losses. Okay, so we're only -4 grand now instead of -25 or 27,000. So that's very nice. We are only -2.86%, which is a normal market fluctuation if we have a down day but have a balanced account. Now that doesn't mean that, again, look at this. We had the same fluctuations these other days. So what I learned is I still have to set my trailing stop losses now. While it's high again, I need to set my trailing stop losses again at 3%. Because again, it could drop lower again. So for some stocks, I might even set 1%. If we're talking, for example, I'll give you an example of 1% stock. Caterpillar. I love this stock because it's been solid all year long. I lost maybe 5 or 10% during this period, but it's never failed. Disney is also a 1%er. I could sell off 50 shares of that, and if it drops below 1%, that means it's going lower by the end of the day. That means I will buy back in probably negative 3%. I made 2% in that regard. Square, same thing. Qualcomm, it's been a bit of a, POS lately, but Qualcomm I have faith in. I will do the same 1%. Worst case, again, it's going to be a 1% loss or gain. I was already down 20% this morning. I don't think it could get much worse than that by the end of the day. It can if I don't sell the shares, but otherwise, what do you got to lose? That's kind of where we are at this point, aren't we? So IPOE, look at this, negative 34%. I'm going to let that sucker bottom out. I'm down to like 15 shares there. Who cares? That one would be a negative 3%. If it drops 3%, I expect it. At least it's up right now. And I make 2% on the day. If it drops, if I set the trailing stop loss now and it drops by the end of the day, I guarantee you it's going negative 6% on that. Again, not a financial advisor. So these other options here, AMC, that's going to exercise, which is great. So I'm going to have how many shares? 100 times my options. I'm going to have 700 more shares of AMC at a great rate of $5, and it's still even profitable, the option, so that's great. Still 1,100 shares here of AMC. It has recovered. I would set a negative 3% on AMC for the day. PSEC, no. Actually, I already have some trailing stop losses still set it if you saw it in my account. CCIV, that is a beast. I know a lot of people are into CCIV, so let me comment on that one. And then I think we'll switch over to crypto. So CCIV, CV Sciences, by the way, only 0.56 now. That's not great, but it could go up to 0.7 by tomorrow, or $1 by next week. So that one huge opportunity, CV Sciences, especially with the opening of stores, because they are based, a lot of their sales are based on in-store sales. NCLH, there was a sell-off here. NCLH, I'm surprised, has not recovered yet. So I'm going to track that one to buy it. Now let's look at CCIV on the statistic level. And then, and I forgot to cover all my sells by buying back in. That's the thing, you got to stay conscious on this. I set that sell to close $7.30, wishful thinking. Okay. So CCIV, let's look at the statistics on that. Okay. Bottom, climb, climb, just like I showed you. It could, again, bottom again by the end of the day. So let's see an example day just like that. Let's look at the 10 days, because last week would have been a better example. Bottom. Okay. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in this period here. This was terrible. Zoom on. Okay. Bottom, climb, drop off. That's not a good example. Let's reset the zoom. Let's go to the 25th to 1st. I believe. Okay, here's more indicative. Okay, this was a drop, climb, drop. This is a climb. Okay, that's not indicative. So there's no iconic pattern for today, except for March 3rd, which we have. If we have a repeat of March 3rd, see a decline. But guess what? It is not going to hurt me to set a trailing stop loss percentage for, let's say, 100 shares. Oops. How many shares of CCL do I have? And that's the only thing I don't like about TD Ameritrade is it doesn't show you your shares as you're selling off. It's very annoying. So CCIV, or as you're buying. All right, so if CCIV drops any further, Well, CCIV Plus made a great amount of money. This was down 25% this morning. I recovered a great amount of money. I did not make a lot of money. But anyway, so I'm going to set negative 3%. This was also down 15%. So look at that recovery. All right, so I'm going to sell 300 shares at negative 3, trailing stop percentage at 3%. Worst case is going to drop 3% and then stay there. Okay? Oh, but what about the trade costs? Who cares? I'm saving thousands of dollars if that happens. I save like $600 by selling off and buying back in. If I miss the opportunity, I can get it tomorrow or after hours. After hours might even drop further. So let's go back to my account, positions. And that's just trailing stop loss. I didn't sell anything. All right. Okay. See, this should have refreshed. CCIV. All right. Then let's go to CCIV Plus because that had the largest fluctuation. So this is where we're going to save the most money in case there's another fluctuation. So let's do 400 shares at a trailing stop percentage of, again, 3%. Because I want it to sell at 3%. That means it's going to go to negative 6 or 10 or 15, and I can buy back in. Again, it's just for the day. These are just for today. Now that we've set those, we protected our action there. Let's see what else had a nice recovery. So we can buy either set our trailing stop losses, basically. And it looks like all these were negative before. So Upwork is one of them. So again, Upwork should not be fluctuating that much. So let's sell 90 of the shares at a trailing stop loss of 3% for the day. Okay. Cat ain't going nowhere. I'm not selling Caterpillar. No way, no how. I don't see that happening. Qualcomm. Qualcomm's been very, very moody lately. So I'm going to set that at a trailing stop loss as well at 3%. Stop. And what I'm going to do on Monday, I'm going to repeat this process on Monday because Monday has the same situation. I need to save my money, and I plan to buy back in. I always plan to buy back in, providing the delta is not too small. Like if it goes down only 1%, I won't have enough money to buy back in the same amount of shares because it did not drop the same percentage of which it dropped before I sold. So I lose money in that case, but it's okay. Etsy. I should have bought more of Etsy. Also setting trailing stop loss at 3%. That was down 6% on the day. Really good. Sell off 20 of those shares. Trailing stop loss. I like to keep a little in there just in case I screw up and don't buy fully in. I miss the bounce and then I get back in. Anyways, there's you miss out on some of the recovery sometimes if it just dips just 3% and it pops back up. That's the only time that I get very frustrated. Look, now we were negative 5% just a minute ago. Now we're negative 3.3% on the day. Still terrible, but not as bad as it could have been. Okay, so I've protected my gains for the day. SOXL. This is a high fluctuating stock. Yeah, you know what? Why not? We'll set that one at negative 3% as well. See, Peloton's already started to dip back down. No offense to Peloton, but I think they've seen their days. So if you have Peloton, I'm sorry. Disney, I do not see dropping 3%. I'm not going to bother with it. Okay, so negative 3% now. Okay, so this is just on the day. So for these same shares, I'm going to have to come back in and watch them before 1 o'clock, before 4 p.m. EST, and make sure I bought those in. Peloton did not climb higher, but we're still going to wait. We are going to wait till 12, 11. We're going to wait another hour to see if Peloton goes higher so we can sell higher, because we only make money if they go up and then come crashing back down. So let's see if we bought back in for the stocks we sold. That's what I want to cover now. Upwork. We sold 56 shares at 10:21 a.m. PST. We bought back in 100 shares at 11:24. Great. So 8:27 a.m. Oh, that was EST. Okay. NCLH, we sold 50 shares at 9:49. And did we buy back in NCLH? We did. NCLH, we bought back in for 40 shares at 10:05. Oh, 60 shares. Okay. Great. Okay, so we rebought back in for NCLH. This was a freaking winner because it's down 15%. They did a buyback, so it was only down 3% on the day, but the buyback crashed it 11 to 12%. So our trailing stop loss set at 3%, it dropped 15%. We bought back in, it went back up 3%, so we're even for the day, and we still have 11% delta to recover when people buy back into that stock after they do their stock buyback. GNOG, I'm going to look at that separately. Fiverr. We sold at 221. It's currently at 220. Good moves. We sold GNOG at 13.14. It's still at 13. That means we could buy that back in later. Etsy. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. Yeah, I'll make sure you can see that. Okay, so Etsy. So all I'm doing is comparing my sells versus my buys. Make sure I recovered my sells. Etsy, 25 shares sold. We bought back in 20. We made $3 per share by doing that. We had lost $3, basically even. It's back up at 195. We're down a couple shares because I was squeamish. CCL sold 55, canceled the 65. Okay, sold 55 at 26.33. It's currently at 26.35. Let's see if we bought back in a lower rate though. CCL, we sold 50, but bought back in 60 at 27.06. Okay, so a little bit of a bad move there. Sorry, it hasn't recovered yet. CCL has nowhere to go but up after next week. Baba, we sold 20 shares, 29.34, and Baba is at. We did not buy back in for Baba. I gotta buy Baba. I love Baba. ARK, we sold 10 shares, and ARK, we did not buy back in. ARK is kind of too heavily tied to tech, so I'm gonna stay out of ARK until after next week. Starbucks, we sold 50, and I believe we bought back in 50 up here. No, we did not buy back in 50 at Starbucks. Sold 50 and 102.89. Back at 102.92. Maybe we'll buy back in more of that. CSWC sold 400 shares. I really like this one. Oh, I just bought 50 shares of Starbucks. Oh no, we did buy back in at Starbucks. Okay, sold 50 shares here, 102.89. Oh, we bought back in 104.38, so that was not a win. We did buy more CCIV Plus at 10.79 and BGAC at 10.54, 10.55. We bought 100 more of CSWC at 20.96. So we sold at 21, bought back in at 20.96. Probably get back into CSWC. That one is a winner, a consistent winner. Okay, great. Now over to BitHum for covering our cryptocurrency purchases, and I only use this platform because I had to transfer my MBX into it. It has good graphs, but very complicated, jittery, and there's some miscalculations at times where it actually wiped out some of my money when it shouldn't have. I was a little bit upset about that when I was buying on margin. So you've got to have to check their numbers to make sure that they are not doing that to you as well, swiping your money. Bitcoin was a bit up and down, same with Ethereum. I personally believe that it's going to continue to go down over the weekend. I have a trailing stop loss set at 90%. I'm going to actually, so we got the eToro account. This is the CopyTrading account. Just like Naga, if you're in the EU, get Naga. Use the links in our description down below. All you do is deposit the cash, they trade for you. We had 35,000 in here, we transferred out 8,000, and we have 20, so we're down about 1,000 because I made some other trades when back when it dropped. This gentleman so far was up, now he's back down, only 1.43%. Clusphere, that's who I'm copying right now. After it drops this weekend, if it drops, it'll sell me out of his shares. My stop copy loss. Let's put it at a 94% ratio. Alright, so we're going to set that at 94%. 95% is too easy. And so the most I'm going to lose is about $600. Or I'll get a bunch of gains because the market stays steady or goes back up. On my trades, and also you can see what they're trading. So if you click on his profile, this is where your money is. This is where he has placed the money. These are the Neota seems to be going up, XTZ is going up, TRX is going up. So he has a great balanced portfolio cluster, and it looks like when these are high, I'm sure he sells when they're up about 10% or more, and then as they drop, he buys back in, and same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but he balances out so that you do not trigger a stop copy loss, so we continue copying. For our assets over here, we are down because that market is down a bit. Where's our assets? Oh, I gotta log in first. Oh no, it might take me through the whole process again. Yep. Alright, well, we'll have to log into those later, but we bought more. We have buys set for ADA at 90 cents, 80 cents, I believe, and MBX at 0.016. He doesn't have MBX, and it's only available through the BitHub marketplace. MBX 0.016, and we believe it's going to go to 0.023, so it's a huge upside if you want to get in on that. Bitcoin and Ethereum, I believe, is going to drop over the weekend. We are placing small buys just in case it doesn't, but we have one short on margin for 10% of a Bitcoin to see where that goes. See if it goes down to 43 again, might be 42,800 is where I set a buy for a new bottom. Dash, been watching this one to see if it bottoms out. If it goes, basically here's a pretty good buy zone based on how it's been fluctuating. And let's go to some statistics. Stats here. Let's go to portfolio, trade markets. There we go. Let's find Dash over here. Dash. I like Dash and Stellar only because MBX is on Stellar, and if MBX is trading on Stellar, it has a lot of room to grow, which would then boost up Stellar. And stats here, charts. Okay, so here is Dash. Kind of mimicked Bitcoin, as most of them did. We're kind of hovering here. Now this is something to watch. If Tesla says we're selling off our Bitcoin to take the profits, which wouldn't be a bad idea, that's going to bring the bottom down back to here. And the initial fallout is going to bring the bottom back to here for all cryptocurrencies. So you will have a 50% drop across all currencies if Tesla or Square decides to take some profits on Bitcoin. they could be quietly doing it as well. So if they're quietly doing that over the weekend and buying back in to ride it up, that is something that they can definitely do because they have bought so much of it that they have a relative impact on. They will have a relative impact on the market when they make those buys and sells. So that should be interesting. Maybe we'll see a company though come in and go. Maybe see Wells Fargo or a bank or another company come in and say, hey, we're gonna buy Bitcoin to help stabilize the market. That will just push that bottom wave up. So hopefully that happens, but we'll see. All right, so that's it for today. Set your trailing stop losses. Again, 1% to 3%. If it fluctuates at all and it sells, spend 30 minutes to watch to see if it drops down to 5 or 6%. Okay? Give it 30 minutes. If it drops down and it doesn't hit 5%, wait for it. If it drops down if it goes to 5%, doesn't hit 6, maybe wait a little bit. If it pops back up to 4 flat after dropping down to 5, that might be an opportunity to buy because it could probably go back up. But at least you'll get your alert and it'll trigger that sale, and you'll be able to save money by buying in at a lower rate. So you'll be able to get the same shares at a cheaper price, or more shares if you want at a cheaper price, and ride that sucker back up on Monday. So on Monday, again, we could have a dip in the morning. Okay, so we could see a dip in the morning, and then a ride back up Monday as well. So watch that as well. So 10 a.m. EST, 7 a.m. PST. That's the trigger time. If that happens, there'll be some buying opportunities because I believe it'll ride back up just like it did this past Monday. So watch all the stocks you're in, look at this past Monday, see what that fluctuation was. Again, it could do the Tuesday thing, which it just dropped. Hopefully not, but set your trailing stop losses and wait. That's the best thing you can do. I am not going to buy Monday unless there's a big drop, in which case my trailing stop losses is triggered, unless it's maybe some select stocks. So if IMAX drops, for example, if that drops back down, I will get into IMAX if it drops down, say 5 to 10%. NCLH, probably not. GNOG, I'm going to wait till midweek to get back in to see what happens with that sell-off. Peloton, I'm going to sell more of once it goes higher. Those are my trades for now until the market goes back to a safe level. The only ones I'm buying more of right now are Caterpillar, Starbucks, and Bitcoin after the dip. Otherwise, and MBX on token side. Otherwise, everything else is too volatile at the moment. We still have another week of terror. So, buckle up. All right, thanks for watching, guys. As always, please subscribe, like, or subscribe if you found this valuable at all, and if you've gained some more knowledge and strategies for the market, or if you've gone to starttrading.com and you've gotten yourself educated and you like what we have to share with you, we can only benefit from having more subscribers. Otherwise, everything we're giving away is for free, and we're just talking to ourselves, having fun. Pump that like button if you are gaining that knowledge as well. Gain some of this money right here overhead. More than dollar bills. Maybe I'll put some hundos in there just to make it look better, but that's an uncut sheet of dollar bills, so I like it because you can't really get those at the U.S. Mint anymore. I got that when I was a kid. As always, start trading. Never a bad time because the market just has fluctuations, and right now it's really down, which means this week it's a good opportunity to buy. Next week will probably be a great opportunity to buy, and hopefully we'll have our recovery so that I don't lose all of my options, since we got 9 options of Apple closing today. That's the only sad thing happening today. The rest I know will recover. That's 7 or 10 grand out the window. Oh well, so goes the market. So thanks for watching. Go starttrading.com. Learn the strategy. Exercise it if you want. I'm not a financial advisor. Thanks for watching.